What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you. But you know what we got to do first? We got to talk about those things that generate a little revenue for the show. First and foremost, we are brought to you by the Patreon at patreon.com/MattSlayer. Do you know you can support this show for as little as $3 a month? Less than the cost of a beer. And for a little bit more, just a touch more. You can get the audio ad free. You can get the video versions a week early. You can get some other bonus content that I throw up there on occasion. So check that out today at patreon.com/MattSlayer. And please support the show. We are also brought to you this week by our merch store at anwd.net/merch. Got some new shirts in the merch store, got some hats. You could go about your daily life and show the world that you're a drinking buddy. Show them that you support this show at anwd.net/merch. We are also brought to you by our friends at Casa Nica. Casa Nica is a wellness brand, the type of wellness that vibrates, lubricates, improves your quality of life. If you go to casa-nica.com today and use the promo code ANWD at checkout, you get 15% off, and any purchases over $100 in the continental United States gets free shipping. Go improve your life. Go to casa-nica today. Last, but certainly not least, the easiest way you can support this show is twofold. First, Signal Boost. Let people know about the podcast. Tell your friends. Share social media. Really that easy. Costs you nothing. The other, really painless and free way to support this show is go to youtube.com/nowwedrink and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't you want to see the full video versions? Don't you want to see what I spend hours slaving over every week to edit for you? I think you do. Go to youtube.com/andnowwedrink. Subscribe today, and let's get on with it. Returning to the podcast this week, my homie, you know her, you love her, the one and only Megan Mistakes. Just for the record, because it is her fault, I definitely encouraged Megan to do another shot, my lord, but just basically did a 2-hour hang. Unfortunately, kept some of the more scandalous stuff off the internet because, you know, we want to have careers, but pretty much this episode, you'll just get to experience what it's like just hanging with me and Megan. So sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, Drinking Buddies.
When aliens come to take over, they look at us like we're out of our minds now. We're gonna galactic makeover, and now we're thinking that they just might be right. I cannot wait for this whole world to end. I'm gonna break out the bottle with my friends. I think they'll tell the best stories when we're gone. And now we drink.
That screaming banshee.
I don't know. Why is that screaming?
Are we recording?
That's what the clap means, Jess.
Well, you didn't say action. I don't know. I'm so used to people saying action now.
Action.
You know what I was thinking about when, like, yesterday?
What were you thinking about yesterday?
I was like, I talk to Matt every day. What the fuck am I supposed to talk about on this podcast?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it
Is your
out.
phone on vibrate?
Yeah. Did it vibrate? Did it annoy you?
No, that was my phone vibrating.
Oh.
Which reminded me to ask if your phone was on
I'll
vibrate.
put it on Do Not Disturb, but my phone's always on vibrate. I don't want to be bothered.
I don't know.
The
You respond to me very quickly, so I don't assume that your phone's on vibrate.
Well, yeah. What do you mean? It's always on vibrate. I guess that's why.
Oh, just like, oh, hey, my pocket's vibrating.
Well, I didn't. Well, I figured like, oh, can you put your phone on silent? I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know. Anyway,
This is 2 hours of like, what can we not talk about that we talk about in real life?
I mean, we could talk about the things we talk about in real life. It's entertaining.
It is probably a little too scandalous for the internet.
What's too scandalous for the internet? They're rotted. Like, I thought I was weird until I saw these they're stupid and rotted.
Like what?
I don't know. They believe that there's lizard people or...
That's not new.
I mean, it's not new, but it's still an internet concept. Like, it's not even like cool. Like, it's not even like fun. Like, oh, there's lizard people and they're trying to take over the world. Instead of like fairies, like, oh, there's these cute little creatures that like have little garden houses that come out at night.
Yeah, but that's not nefarious.
Well, why does everything have to be nefarious? Why can't it be fun?
Well, because most conspiracy theories are based around people not feeling that they have control in their life. And obviously there must be some nefarious force because they're the hero in their own story.
Sounds like they need a therapist.
Everyone needs a therapist. Megan, everyone.
I know, that's why I have one.
I have two.
Why should I have two? I mean, technically I should have a psychiatrist, but I just go to my doctor for my pills.
Well, you have two. It's like, play their opinions off each other?
No.
It'd be fun.
No, then they'd have too much control over my life.
You don't have to listen to them.
Well, if I want my drugs, I do.
Get a third one just for the drugs. Like, get the
Like a
enabler.
drug dealer?
Well, enabler
I
doctor.
have one of those too.
Enabler doctor. Like, you gotta do it like Elvis, where it's legal and the doctor's just prescribing you shit.
See, I've gotten like recs for people like that, and I'm like, that just sounds like too, like with the whole Adderall shortage, someone was like, oh, like you can go see my doctor. And I'm like, that doesn't solve my problem. It's a pharmacy issue.
You gotta be friends with a pharmacist then.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, my life has slowly become porn.
Yes, I know. In the last year.
And like year, it's been so porny. Because like all of my like real life friends, my civilian friends, I know they freak out about that.
Well, I was about to say, I'm your real life friend.
Well, like outside of porn, like I don't.
Well, yeah, there's a distinction between real life friends and civilian friends. I definitely have civilian friends,
Right.
and then I have real life friends that are in porn.
Right. Well, I don't know. Like I all see us in like this kind of meta universe of the internet because that's where our jobs. Like, obviously, like I could say like, oh, I know this person because I've talked to them a few times, but I've never met them in real life, and I wouldn't consider them like my friend.
Not everyone I do this podcast with is my fucking friend.
Well, yes, obviously.
Some of them are my mortal enemies, and you don't know which ones are which.
You would not spend 2 hours with your mortal enemy. I know you.
No, some of them become it afterwards.
I mean, fair enough.
Well, it doesn't. They don't become my mortal enemy. They're just like, yeah, I'm not promoting that person.
Honestly, I would still air it out of spite in case they said something really dumb and then you get to laugh about it.
Yeah,
I'm meaner than you.
It's not a meaner thing. It's a pragmatic thing.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't have to promote it. You can just release it. No one says you have to promote it or make clips for it. You just release it out into the world and let people like decide.
Right. The problem with that is people who don't know me, don't have any sort of relationship with me whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to feel safe and comfortable when they come and do the show.
Uh-huh.
And if there's oh, hey, Matt may just decide to release this if I say something stupid or annoy him in some way, people will feel less comfortable doing the show.
I mean, do these people know that you don't like them?
Oh, I'm sure some of them do.
Okay. Because, like, if you're like, oh, wow, fuck that person, and you still release it, no one really knows. I'm sure a lot of people don't know that I don't like them.
Which is amazing. I don't know, because you're not exactly subtle.
Well, I'm not subtle when, like, you first approach me, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing around me? Which, it's really obnoxious, people, like, or you just... I don't know. Honestly, I think it's when people touch me. They just come up to me and start talking to me and touch me, and I'm like, ugh. Like a cat, I hiss.
Why would they want to touch you? You're so shiny.
Why wouldn't they, or why?
Why would they?
I don't know.
I'm just giving you shit about you. Talking about you looking greasy before we got on it.
I'm always looking greasy.
I'm just busting your balls.
That's why I was so happy when, like, I was gonna play with my hair, but I have these headphones on. When dewy skin became a thing, because I was like, that's just my oily skin. Like, no one's going to know I'm oily now. But with, like, I don't know. I think maybe this is, like, my toxic trait, because, like, my friends will know if I don't like someone, but the person themselves won't know. Do you have a tissue? Can you grab me a tissue? My nose is running. I can feel it.
Is this about to be a confessional about being like, by the way, Matt, I actually can't stand you?
No. You would know. That's the thing. I'd be like, fuck. If it, like, my real friends, they, like, if it gets to that point, I'll be like, fuck you. You're being fucking annoying. I'm waiting for him to come back. He's grabbing me tissue. This might not make it into it. I thought you were gonna grab like a paper towel or something. You're grabbing me actual tissue. How nice of you. I don't think I've been in a house for a while that had like an actual tissue.
Well, that box is because I was having fucking, like, you know, I got sick right after I got back from Cuba, and my nose was like a fucking faucet. So I'm just like, I'm buying real tissues.
It's the same thing as toilet paper. Toilet paper's softer.
Yeah. I don't keep much toilet paper in the house because I have a bidet, so I don't use much of it. And I don't want to burn through like
50 million trees.
Right.
No, that's fair enough. I buy the Costco big thing of tissue.
Oh yeah, we have to take a Costco trip, by the way.
Okay. I'm also supposed to take this boy from Chicago to Costco. I'm taking 2 Chicagoans.
How long do I have to be out before I'm not a Chicagoan anymore?
No, it's where you're born.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I guess.
Cause like, I don't know. My Nana was born in the South, but she moved to California when she was 14. So, and I still consider her Southern.
Because I realized that I'm coming up on like fucking 15 years out of Chicago. I'm coming up on like a third of my life not lived in Chicago.
No, I think your little fun name or geographical name is from where you're born. Like where you're born and you grew up. So you'll never be considered a Californian.
Fine. I don't want to be a Californian anyways. I don't want to belong.
I mean, you don't have to tell anyone. I don't know.
People know I'm not from here.
But like Chicago's not like the worst place to be from. No one's like, ew, Chicago. I might say ew, Chicago.
Well, yeah, but that's personal trauma. That has nothing to do with the city.
Yeah. I love the city. It's beautiful. But like I think because now we're 2 ADHD people talking right now. I'm trying to keep on track so it's linear in a little bit.
That will never happen.
It won't happen. But I'm so
you're going to drink more, and it's super not going to happen at that point.
I know. But oh fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Exactly.
No, okay, so me being mean to people, like I think my friends know if I like cuz I sit there and I just troll people and people think I'm like trying to be funny, but I'm really just insulting their intelligence. Like one of my friends, she's like, it's so funny to see you interact with people who come up to you and just bother you. And she's like, I can tell when you say something and they don't get it and they're trying to catch up and you're getting annoyed that they're slow. And I was like, do I really? Like, is it that obvious? She goes, yeah.
I love that she didn't go asterisk, the real asterisk there, which is dudes. When dudes.
Yeah, and it's always men. I mean, I don't think there's maybe been like a handful of girls I don't like. And it's really just because they're like, they come up to me and like, they're mean. And I'm like, I'm just standing here. Or they'll say something and they'll come up to me and talk to me. And then they'll be like, oh, I thought you were going to be a bitch, but like, you're actually really nice. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay?
Look mean all the time. All the time.
Apparently, everyone's intimidated of me.
I never got that. I was actually just remarkably surprised how short you were in real life.
Everyone says that. That's how I catfish people. They'll be like, wow, you look like your pictures. And then I take off my shoes and they're like, Jesus fucking Christ, you're short.
Well, I think we talked about this last time around. I was really expecting you to be 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah. Well, I'm always wearing platforms and got long ass legs. And it's a fucking curse because my dad is 6'3" and I'm short. And there's like a few other tall people in my family, but all the women are short. And I'm like,
you really want to be a tall woman?
I want to be like 5'5". I think that would be fun.
I mean, that's okay.
Probably no taller than 5'7", because that was the thing. Like growing up, I wanted to be a model, and then I was like, I'm never going to be a model.
But you are a model.
I mean, now I'm not like a runway model. I was like so in love with fashion, and I'd watch like all the shows. I bought a sewing machine to like reignite that.
You sewing anything?
I used to when I like growing up. That was like one of my hobbies, and then I was working with Sean, and we went to
Sean.
Alf. But after words. He's like, you want to go to an estate sale? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And it's like this, well, I need to get it refurbished.
That is just the like most anti-porny thing ever. Just like, hey, I know we just made content. Do you want to go to an estate sale?
It's such like a Sean and I thing though. Cause like, and I honestly, I was not expecting, like, he's so awkward. Like, he plays into his awkwardness so fucking well. Like, he's a genius at it. And like, but at the same time, like, he's one of my friends. And I'm like, I don't know if this is like gonna like go well. Like, are we just gonna bullshit the whole time? But, or like, is it gonna be awkward? Cause there's always that like essence of like, working with one of your friends, and it's like, are we too familiar with each other to be working together? Because that's happened with like one of my friends. Like, our like, what is the bickering?
Chemistry? Oh,
No, I don't know if it was not so much. Well, because it was POV, so like chemistry wise, like you're not like you're touching each other, but like it's POV, so you have to focus more on like dialogue. And
I know how much you love that.
if someone is engaging with me, it can go really well. It's like when I have to, even though it's a lot like camming, even when I'm camming and like someone's like, all right, like obviously it's a one, like I'm providing the show, but I'm like, you have to give me something to work off of, just like a little bit. When the POV is like solely me carrying everything, I'm like, I get anxious about like repeating phrases, even though it doesn't fucking matter. But like, I'm just like, I don't want to say the same thing twice.
You don't want to just stare into the POV camera and be like, I love you. I love you so much. I love you.
No, because that's how you get stalkers. I don't even tell my fans I love them.
Well, you expect Sean to stalk you? I don't think Sean would stalk you.
Well, no, Sean would not stalk me, but
or if Sean stalked you, it would be the most obvious stalking ever. Like it'd be like really loud and like there'd be like balloons.
Well, no, it would be like him tripping over everything and like coming in with pots and pans. Or like he'd be that boombox man.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be over the top and you'd be like, this isn't subtle at all, man.
No.
It would be hilarious to me, just someone doing a POV of just being like, I love you so much. I love you. Like just making it real weird.
Maybe I could do that. I could make content like that. But I also just like don't want a stalker. Because I have like I was talking about this with Charles Darrett last night. And I forget what, he was asking me about like how I cam and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm so strict with these motherfuckers. I'm like, I don't let them talk to me. Like if we're in like free chat, it's just, hey, how's your day? And we talk about like normal people shit. You don't get like the dirty talking or anything until you start paying me. I'm not one of those people that will like butter people. Like I'm so strict with, and I know I probably lose like a lot of money because of that, but I'm just like, some of you motherfuckers don't deserve it. Like you really don't. Like you get so much, like especially with like I could probably see it if I didn't have like a social media presence. But like you guys get so much of me outside of this. Like if you want me to tease you, fucking pay me. That's the one thing I kind of dislike about my job is social media.
Such a part of the job though.
Which makes me think like, damn, I should have gotten in porn when I wanted to. Because social media wasn't as big.
Hey, did you want to get in like well before?
I feel like I've told you or sent it to you. This was, I probably shouldn't have been saying this at this age. But back in like, I went back and looked at it, but in 2010, I like posted on my Facebook, like, when I'm older, I'm going to join the porn industry. And of course, people were like, what? And I was like, oh, like for production. But I like, because I don't know, that's Netflix started streaming and there were all these porn documentaries. And I was like, this is like kind of cool. Like, it's not even so much of like the sex aspect of it because I'm like, so like, I don't want to say indifferent.
Yeah, that's not good for selling.
No, it's not good. But I'm not like indifferent about it, but it's like, oh, this is what people like. It was never like Maybe indifferent is the right word. Don't tell anyone though.
I know that's a lie. I have watched you be thirsty in real life. You are not indifferent towards sex.
Okay, I won't fuck anyone.
Well, no. Just because you're not fucking everyone doesn't mean you're indifferent to
I don't know. Everyone markets themselves as a nymphomaniac.
Yeah, that's marketing. We're talking about real life here.
But some of these people kind of are.
I'm aware.
And I'm like, damn, am I not about that lifestyle? Like, am I weird? Am I like out of...
No. That doesn't make you fucking weird. It doesn't make them weird. It just makes you different. It's like, I eat meat. You don't. That doesn't make you weird. I mean, it does.
I was actually giving Sean a hard time because I was like, you might be like a little bit too normal for porn. And people say I'm a little too normal for porn.
People who said that about you don't know you.
You're the one who has said it. What do you mean?
I don't think I've ever said that.
Yes, you had. Yes, you have.
I say things all the time.
But like, I mean, I'm weird for real life because we were talking about this. You're like, well, you're weird for real life.
Oh yeah,
you're just like normal for the porn world.
Yeah,
like,
but I never said too normal.
Well, no, I said Sean was too normal for porn. He had a normal childhood.
Good for him. A little bully for him on that.
And maybe that's why everyone bullies him. Like this is his like karma for joining porn. He just gets bullied. But I love bullying people.
I'm aware.
It's so much fun.
I'm surprised you don't do more dom work.
Okay. The thing is that I look at, well, it's because my work is very vulnerable. And so I do understand boundaries and people's feelings to that extent. And to the extreme that some people want doming, I can't necessarily push myself to be that kind of person. Not like, and that's the wrong, but I can't like push myself to get to that side.
I'm sure for the right money, you probably could.
I don't, maybe like
the $1 million man always says, everyone's got a price.
No, and it's really not so much like the money, or it's just like more of like I am too timid in that way of like, oh, was that too mean? Oh my God, did I hurt that person's feelings? Oh, like I hope I didn't make them cry. Because like I know I can be really mean, but at the same time I'm like, this is a person behind all of this. And even while we're consensually because doming's basically a role play in a way, at least online.
Yeah.
There I still have that like one, I'm not totally dead inside.
Give it time.
At least like I feel like I could do it in person because you can gauge someone's like tone and behavior.
Why don't you do it in person?
I just don't. Well, I know like one person who does it, but I'm lazy.
So I can introduce you to people.
Oh, okay. I've always like wanted to do it, but then I'm like, who do I reach out to and not sound like a fucking nerd?
Definitely people in the dom community are fucking nerds.
Well, just sound like fucking corny. I don't know. That's one thing that I try not to like. I don't know. People are always so weird to us that like I don't ever want to like burden other performers. Like if I get brought into a space, great. Like I love that. But I don't want to like inconvenience someone because we're always so busy and like so many people. I don't know. I guess I'm in the community, so like it doesn't matter. But like so many people reach out to everyone in the community like, hey, how do I get started about this? Like, I think the most I've asked someone so far is like, hey, like, what books would you recommend? Which was a terrible ask because I'm not fucking reading books.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit people with.
Books?
Yeah.
I mean, I could.
As part of your doming, just pop.
No, there's a lot of books that are like educational and stuff. And so.
Oh.
I research everything I do before I get into it. You know this.
I do.
You do? I mean,
I do.
I was like, what do you mean? Are you trying to like...
Sorry, I'm doing a bit for the fucking camera. Sorry, Megan.
But
sorry.
You can't do that.
Why?
Because I said so.
It's my show. It sounded so bratty. This is my show.
This is my show.
Welcome to it. Now we drink and make mistakes.
I'm the one who brought Malort. I'm the one who made your show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The show's only existed for the last year. Never had any AVN nominations before you came around.
But I may get you sponsored by Malort, Jepson's Malort.
They're definitely not sponsored.
You know, I got you. I brought the bottle that looks like this. This one. Are you allowed to show this?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. What is Malort going to do? Send me a cease and desist?
I don't know. People are so weird about things. But then you got a personal bottle from the distillery.
Well, yeah, because I went and reached out to people back home, and I'm like, oh, I know people who work at the distillery. Or I know people that know people that work at the distillery.
You know what? You told me your friends saw the bits.
They did.
Yeah. And then they were sending you things.
I still had to pay for them.
So, what kind of friends are those?
They still hooked it up. I still had to pay, though.
For shipping?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I had to buy one of the bottles.
You got 4?
5.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No.
I was about to say, get new friends.
Okay, bye.
Although I would pay for my friend's stuff. But, like, your friend is not Jepson Malort man.
I love that you just completely glossed over. I was just ending our friendship.
You were ending our friendship?
Well, you're like, get new friends. And I said, bye.
Oh.
You just completely, I'm not going to accept that.
ADHD.
You're just like, I'm not listening to Matt. I'm just not going to accept that he just dismissed our friendship.
See, when people are, it's such like a second nature now of like, when people are like mean to me or like push me aside, I just don't pay attention.
I don't think I was being, well, I might be, no, not being mean to you.
I mean, some people could have, it depends on how sensitive you are, but things go right over my head all the time. I think I said this last time too.
Oh, I'm aware. We talk all the time.
Yeah. You'll make a joke and I'll be like, what do you mean?
Then I have to explain it, and generally it's still funny. The age gap, too, is that I do throw some old references sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not that cultured.
I've tried to help with these things. I try.
I mean, I'm cultured in like a little bit, but
I mean, you're not as bad as some people I hang out with, where it's just like, how have you never seen any of this?
yeah, no,
But then again, I'd be hanging out with girls in their mid-20s, so yeah.
I mean, I'm not too shy of that. I'm just 2 years past my mid-20s.
I don't know. You've done some more living. I don't know.
My parents were young when they had me, so I don't know. I basically raised my parents.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. My dad's cool.
I know. I'm going to meet him one of these days.
You probably will. We'll be at fucking a bar one day. I'll be like, God damn it, there's my dad again. That was so weird.
What was that?
Oh, I was about to get to it, but I had a long pause. I was thinking about it. Sorry, I'm also very tired.
Whose fault is that?
Charles Dara.
Yeah.
Because the call time was 8 p.m. and it is actually partially my fault. I could have left at like midnight because we were done at like 11:50, but I'm a yapper. And I do like hanging out with him and his wife. They're cool people. So we were yapping till 2 a.m. And that's honestly every single time I'm on a set, unless I know that they're renting a place and I have to be out of there. So just out of respect, I won't stay and like hang out. Or if I don't really vibe with someone, I will just leave. So if I stay on a set afterwards, it means that I like you. But it doesn't, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't take a lot for me to like someone. Like, it's really just men. But the men I've worked with are like pretty chill. Even like the directors, like I'm very fortunate with my agency. So far I've had a good experience. What were you talking about? We were talking about me yapping.
We were talking about you raising your parents, and then I was going to meet your dad, and then yeah, we got to you. Yeah.
Oh, because I said it was tired. Yeah, and then I had to drive home, so I left.
And then we talked for an hour and a half while you were driving home. Yeah,
I got home at 3, ate some food.
I should just make a Patreon only, podcast of just me recording us talking, and then just release that just as bonus content.
Or they would be like, "Damn, this bitch is crazy. Why does she date these people?"
Oh yeah, like they think I'm not sane. That was a bad sentence. Wait
Um,
a minute. I talk about this shit on here anyways. So.
Yeah, and I think my dating, at least since we've been friends, my dating experiences have been way worse than yours.
I concur. Because none of mine have gotten that serious. No one has gotten obsessed with me.
Well, no one. I wouldn't say anyone. Well,
you're full of shit. You are full of shit.
No, I was thinking about it because I wasn't. God damn it! I was thinking about like I was going through the timeline of our friendship, and so I was like, okay, so there was the dude who had a hissy fit at 2 a.m. in my bedroom. There was the really, but I never dating producers again. I dated 2 very weird producers. So like that was because I think that was like the first time I complained to you about someone was the producer guy, and then there was another producer, and then
we're talking about music producers, not industry producers.
Yeah, music producers.
You need to specify these things.
Well, okay, so I guess I will preface this. Like one of my hard rules is that it's not a hard rule, but like I try to keep this boundary of not dating anyone in the industry, and I did, and then I instantly regretted it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, no, big no. But it's not so much like it's not me not wanting to date anyone in the industry has nothing to really do with the industry. More so for the fact of like I want to keep a healthy like work-life balance.
Well, yeah, because you still have to see these people, which you are now fucking dealing with.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen them in a while, so that's good. I'm trying to think.
I think it's gotten us uninvited to a couple parties though.
Oh, 100%. 100.
Because apparently you're just your plus one.
Well, yeah, you're my bodyguard. I tell everyone that. I was like, if I show up with Matt, I know nothing bad's gonna happen to me. Like, and I don't mean that as like, oh, I'm using you as a bodyguard. But I think that's one of the. I have 2 rules with sex work that I think everyone should live by. To be completely honest, if you're a woman wanting to come into sex work, I think the best way to like really understand your clientele is camming. Because then you get to know what you look like on camera all the time. Not so much with like another person, but you can know your angles a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I partially disagree with that because on cam, it's a static camera. You don't have a camera operator moving around.
But if you're making content, like that's the thing. Like sometimes it's a static camera anyways.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like on professional sets and shit like that.
Yeah.
On a professional set, you have someone actually fucking operating camera. And
oh, well, when someone's operating camera, you're always going to look better.
Hopefully.
Like,
hopefully.
I mean, I haven't looked bad so far, except for the fact that I noticed that because one of my scenes, we were like, the first part started outside and I started tanning, but my legs would not tan for the longest time. And so I looked like fucking a Neapolitan ice cream because I didn't know that like filming outside, like I get red, like I don't sunburn, but I get red because I'm very heat sensitive. And so my shoulders were red and then like down, like right here is like brown. And then my legs are like really not super pale, but they're like they're like 3 shades lighter. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, and I knew I should have put on like self tanner, but
no amount of camera work's gonna fix that.
I don't really care. Like, to be honest, like you can't think about those things because otherwise, like the thing is like. But that's also what prepped me for being okay with stuff like that is with camming. Like you really get to see like the intricacies of men's brains. I see men fuck pillows half the time. And like, I see them do such obscure things that like, oh, wow.
Like
I look like a Neapolitan ice cream. Does that make me less attractive? No, they still want to fuck me.
I hate to break it to you. Dudes are generally just down to fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people, if you're not in sex work, unfortunately, you don't like understand that. And so a lot of women base their, I'm blanking on words, value on male validation. Of like, oh, why isn't he talking to me? Or like, why won't he call me back? Or like, oh, he doesn't want to sleep with me. And it's like, no one, it probably has nothing to do with you.
He wants to sleep with you. No matter who you are, he wants to sleep with you. Anything else, that's up to debate. But sleeping with you, he wants to do.
I mean, men fucking put summer squashes up their ass. So like, why am I going to be upset about a man not texting me back? He's probably busy.
Well, and that's
like in the ER.
Well, but that's the thing about relationships in general. It's like either they're not that into you or they have other shit going on in their life and neither one of them's about you.
Right.
If someone's not into you, that's not on you. That's their decision that they're not into you.
I will say, like, being in sex work actually helped my attachment style so much. Also therapy, but like...
Which one more?
I would... I'd say it was like 50-50 because once you like... I think more so with the fact of like... Oh, I have to cough. Oh no. I don't want to cough into the mic.
Please don't.
Hold on. Let me take a...
People are so involved in their own bullshit. Like, people shouldn't internalize when someone else doesn't validate them that it's on them.
This sounds kind of weird, but like I wasn't raised to... And even if you're raised not to be insecure, because my family was like, except for my intelligence, they were mean about that. But as far as looks-wise, which most of society bases your value on your looks, my parents were really good about like not raising us like that. Granted, it probably like wasn't that hard for them. Me and my sister aren't ugly. Don't come from ugly people. But
I don't think your mom's hot.
She's not bad looking though. She's not an ugly person. She's not a fucking troll.
I don't think she's a troll, but I saw a picture of not like would hit. That was not my first reaction when seeing your mother.
Well, you don't have to want to fuck my mom to say that she's pretty.
Okay, I didn't. I did, especially be like, yeah, she like. I didn't particularly. Find your mom.
I don't want you to say you want to fuck my mom.
I mean, I met another performer's mom that I actually do want to fuck. So,
oh God, don't do that.
Why not? I think her mom was into me. I actually did text her about that.
Anyway,
you're like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
I don't want to talk about moms.
So she'd be fucking someone's mother.
Let's not do that. That's someone's mother.
I have fucked multiple people's mothers in my life.
Were they your friends' mothers?
No, I've never pulled on the full-on fidge before.
Okay, we're not talking about fucking our friends' mothers. That's inappropriate. You can fuck mothers, but not our friends' mothers.
Well, I can't help that I'm closer in age to some. Actually, that girl's mother in particular, I'm older than.
How old is this girl?
Oh, she's a performer. She's 25.
How old's her mom?
Like 40? 41?
Her mom was 16 and pregnant?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was like trying to do math and I was like...
Math is hard.
Math is hard when you got like 6 hours of sleep and...
Tequila.
Tequila, actually, that might actually wake up my mind.
Her mom, like when I met her, gave me like a little like hand rub like as she was leaving. I'm like, oh, what up, mom?
Oh, jeez. Moms.
Her mom's got full sleeves too. So it's just like, oh, hey, I may be your type.
What were we talking about?
Oh.
You
not wanting to fuck your mom.
Yes, please don't fuck my mom.
I can promise you I will not try to fuck your mother.
Good. I don't think you'll ever meet her anyways.
Wow. Ouch.
You know what? We'll talk about this not on the podcast.
About how I'm allowed to meet your father, but I'm not allowed to meet your mother. Okay.
Well, okay, fine. I tried to invite her. I was like, okay. It's more so because I don't want people to be mean to me on the internet if they find this out because I talk about how my parents support me. But I don't think that my mom's thing is like not supporting me. She's just a little off her rocker. Love her though. She was a great she is a great person. Like we don't get along. And I was like, oh, if I ever like get nominated for an award, I want you to come to an award show. And then we got into a fight about that. That was the fight that like we got into, that I stopped talking to her.
Why would she be upset about you winning an award?
Well, she was like, I don't know if like that's appropriate, and I don't want pictures taken of me there. And I was like, well, you don't have to get pictures. Like, I'll make sure there's no pictures of you. Like, I know all the photographers, not a big deal.
It's an adult award show. You can show up in a mask. No one's gonna bat an eye.
Right. And she was like worried about her job, and
wear a mask.
I don't know. It was her.
Did your mom a whole dom like bondage? Fucking like bring out the gimp suit.
No, I'm not putting my mom in a gimp. Oh my god.
Why not?
No.
Why are you kick shaming your mom?
No, oh my god, my mom would freak the fuck. And my mom is such a prude. It's probably why I do what I do now. And it's not even that like sex was like an icky subject in our house. Because my parents were so just like, that's what happens, like whatever. I mean, my babysitters were strippers, but I don't know. I think when she gets into argument stance, then she blacks out, I think, and then just says these fucking wild ass shit. And I was like, damn, like, okay, well, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Good call, by the way. Like, I'm a big proponent of like, if family members are, don't figure into your life, fucking cut them off.
I was really bummed about it for a little bit, but then like I realized, I was like, like, because it's not even one of those things. Like, I could call her, she would pick up. If anything happened, I knew, like, if anything happened, she would be the first person I'd call, and she'd be there.
I'm right here. What the fuck?
I don't have your number memorized.
That's bullshit. You should.
Well, we're in 2024 and everything's digital. I don't have to type in your number. I just click Matt.
Well, then you could still call me.
Yeah, but I don't have if I don't have my phone, let's say I'm locked up in a jail cell, the first person I'm calling is my mom because I have her number memorized.
I'd be closer and I'd be better at getting you out of jail.
I think my mom might have more money than you.
Oh, it's not a money thing. I know people.
I know people too. I actually have
don't call them.
I have a childhood friend who's like a police officer, which is like very weird. But fuck the police. Nice guy though.
I mean, that's one way to get the police to take you out of jail.
Well, we talked about this last time. I got told I was too pretty for jail.
Too pretty for crime.
Too pretty for crime. But no, she's cool though. Like, she's just a little kooky. She needs to figure out her own shit. It's one of those things, I think, more so. Like, if it comes to, like, I would love to talk to her again, but she's just not at that point.
Well, and that's the fucked up part about life is like, oh yeah, our parents are fallible human beings.
I knew that since I was like 7, though.
Well, bully for you, because I didn't figure that shit out until much later in life.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I knew it at like 7 because of like the divorce, but it's something I never wanted to realize, but like I knew it, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, like these are flawed people. But everyone is. Like, I think that's the thing about like growing up and realizing that is like at that time you're angry, but then once you really get more life experience, you're like, oh, well, everyone's flawed, and you can show compassion towards them, but you don't have to deal with them.
Oh, 100%. Like the wild idea, like at this age, my father was a single parent raising, I was 9 or 10 by the age I'm at now. It's just like, could you imagine me trying to raise a 10-year-old at this point? Could you imagine that?
Crazy.
Right. Like,
I think I'm turning 29 this year, and
congrats on making it out of the 27 club.
Thanks. I didn't think I would. My birthday's on the 27th too. I was like, I'm destined for it.
Look at you bucking the odds.
I'm here.
You're a ghost.
I might be a ghost. I died at birth. Did I ever tell you that?
You and me both. Cheers to that.
Cheers. I got short arms. There we go.
I know, because you're not as tall as you advertise.
I know. I have long arms though.
You're just all limbs.
I swear I was supposed to be tall. And then they said you'd be too powerful. Pop.
Hold on. Do you think if you intimidate men now, do you don't think you would intimidate men more if you were taller?
I don't give a fuck if I intimidate men. I think it's hilarious, but also very confusing because, like, I am a pretty, like, if you don't give me, like, my reasons to not like you are so small that, like, I don't know. I'm not that scary.
I don't think so. You and I hit it off day one. So, like, I don't know.
I think, well, people, I mean, I get this on cam, and I think it's just people being dumb. Like, I am not I have such a hard time taking compliments, because I think people are bullshitting most of the time. It's really like, I think, like, compliments are kind of like a form of manipulation.
I don't disagree.
And growing up the way that, like, I look, like, that sounds, I don't even like talking about it, but, like, growing up being an attractive person and people always coming to you, telling you, like, since I could, like, some of my earliest memories were people, like, literally, I don't know if I told this story last time. I think I've told you about basically he's like my little brother because him and my little sister are a week apart. Our parents were friends since before I was born. When my mom got pregnant with me, he was like, oh, like, newborns are always so ugly. Like, I love making fun of newborns. Like, and she was like, oh, he's like being so mean, but like, whatever. And he came to see me and he looked at my mom and he goes, I can't say anything mean. She's beautiful. And she was like, yeah, I make beautiful babies. He's like, I've never seen a more beautiful baby than this one. Because, like, newborns are kind of fucking creepy. Like, they're little aliens.
Well, yeah, they just stole your nutrients for 9 months.
Yeah, they're fucking parasites.
Why would anyone want to make one of those?
I don't know.
I don't have to. Yes.
I tried to convince, when me and my sister were cool, I tried to convince her to be a surrogate for me. I almost got her.
Yeah, but who's going to be the sperm donor on that?
I don't know. I didn't think that far. We got a turkey baster. It doesn't matter.
The genetics of the other half of your child? I think that matters.
Well, I don't know. What if I wanted to go to a sperm bank? Did you know that? I actually heard this the other day. Well, not the other day. This was probably like 2 months ago. That most sperm banks are just the doctors.
I've never heard that.
Like the dirty sperm banks. Like it's the doctors inseminating women with their own sperm.
That's some narcissistic shit.
Right? And fucking men shit.
Those are not interchangeable verbs. Or
yes.
Nouns or adjectives. Whatever. English is hard. Those are not interchangeable. Not all men are narcissists, Megan.
You did not just all men me.
I did.
Okay.
She's like, podcast over. I'm out.
I'm gonna put this in my notes.
Why? It's being recorded. You don't have to put it in your notes.
On July 2nd, Matt told me not all men.
I did.
I got a tally system. Actually, no, I'm not that psychotic. You know what's?
I mean, I'm a narcissist, but not all men.
I think it's funny because, like, narcissists have to be insecure, and I'm like, I'm not that. I'm really not that. Like, you have to be so deeply insecure to be a narcissist. And now we're going back to the insecurity thing with camming that we were talking about 30 minutes ago.
Well, that's how this thing goes. It's circular. Yeah.
We're circling back.
I've done some damage already.
That looks like 2 drinks. Anyway.
Your math is off.
Okay. I'm a mathematician. That's what I excel in.
Mm-hmm. I believe you.
I really am. I love math. I love calculus.
Yeah. That's not calculus.
No, I actually don't know how to gauge liquids.
Well, ounces go from the bottle into a glass and then into me.
I don't know how much, like, if I were to measure ounce, like, I can eyeball inches very well.
Important in your line of work. Sorry.
No, it really is. Like,
that was a bad joke.
Well, it is, but like, I don't know how much, like, an ounce is probably like what, half an inch, depending on the bottle.
Well, So an ounce is a measurement.
I understand the liquid measurement, but I'm saying like per bottle, if we're like looking at that bottle right there.
So we're talking about ounces of alcohol.
Ounces, but like if we were to we could figure this out. It's math.
It is.
So if I were to take out a shot, figure out like measure, you would probably not do it from the spout, but like if I were to take out a shot, take out a shot and then see, okay, how much did that fill up? And then I'd be like, okay, so then I divide the bottle into that. And
750 milliliters divides into like 16-ish shots.
So 750 milliliters converted to inches. Well, centimeters to inches, right?
Well, there's 16 shots. There's 16 1.5 ounce shots.
Yes, but we're losing track. I think we're both confusing each other. Anyway,
I'm not confused.
No, it sounds no. I don't.
There's 24 ounces in the bottle.
I understand that. No, I'm saying like on the like visually on the bottle.
Right. How much volume it takes up?
Not even the volume. Like, okay, so let's say like right here, the eyeball, and okay, so right here is one shot.
Right.
And then right there's two shots. Like just that visual aspect of like what is a shot per bottle? I don't know how to do that. Because I don't know how much, because all bottles are different, so I don't know like the measurement gauge of it.
Right. Well, and that no one does. That's why speed pours are measured, shots are measured in fucking 4 counts on a speed pour, not by eyeballing the bottle.
Right. Which is probably why I get so drunk so fast, because I have a heavy pour. I was always known to make the strongest mixed drinks growing up.
Proud of you.
So everyone would have me make their drinks. But anyway.
That's why it's making mistakes.
No, but with camming insecurities, I was like, oh, people don't realize these things that I'm focusing on, so why do I care? So,
but also, you don't know them. Why would you care?
The people?
Yeah. You don't know these fucking people.
Well, I think, but people are so, it is a funny, like, human neuroses of, like, everyone's so full of themselves that they think that people are paying attention to certain things. And then once you finally, like, get away from that, you realize everyone's, by you being so full of yourself, then seeing that no one notices these things about you, you're like, oh, wait, no, everyone's just focusing on themselves.
Right.
I think in any kind of public work, you need to realize that. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that. And it's the downfall of, unfortunately, a lot of people.
Well, and that brings them full circle back to dating and people being inattentive and shit like that is also like, oh, no, people are much more concentrated on themselves than whatever's going on with you. And that's whatever their fucking flaw is.
Oh, that was gross. I'm sorry.
Look at you being gross, Megan. Thanks.
Sniffled in there.
I'm sure someone will pay money for it.
Yes.
Were you about to say that too?
I mean, people will pay money for anything. Shit, my highest selling video is not even a sexual video. It's me shaving my head.
No one's paying me for that shit.
Actually, yeah, people love shaving videos. I think I think it was more so mainly because my hair was like a little bit longer. Well, it wasn't this long, but it was like right here, and I just shaved it all off. But yeah, to this day, it's still my highest selling video.
Good on you.
Super sick. But yeah, I think maybe it's also because like, I don't know. I like to analyze a lot of people, and in a way of like learning of like, okay, so how, like, what of this environment affects people to do certain things? What are you going to say?
So have you analyzed me?
No. Like as like a common perception of like societal wise. Okay.
Okay. I thought you were like, I like to analyze individual people. I'm like, have you analyzed me? I'm curious
I don't think I've actually. I think we talk too much for me to analyze you.
Wait a minute.
You haven't done anything like super obscure to be like, why'd you do that? Or like kind of annoyed me to be, because there's been people like.
So wait a minute, have I annoyed you at all?
Yeah, but I think it was more of like a timely thing.
Wait a minute, what did I annoy you about?
I don't know. I'm not saying that you haven't annoyed me, but like it's
I'm curious what I annoyed you about.
It's not memorable. But I'm not saying that you haven't annoyed me. I think that would be like insincere if I said you haven't annoyed me, because I'm sure you have annoyed me, but it's not memorable.
You haven't annoyed me, so I'm curious.
I don't know. I get annoyed easily. Like I'm a fucking weirdo.
Well, I know that. I mean,
but it's more.
That's why we're friends.
It's more so like I know myself well enough to, like, if you actually annoyed me, I would have told you. But it was probably one of those instances where I hadn't eaten, and my blood sugar was low, or I was just having a bad day, and I got annoyed, and I was like, I'm just not fucking replying to this. And it was more of my own hissy fit of my life.
Yeah, I don't know when that would have been. You always reply to me pretty quickly.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to drag this out of you. I'm like,
I know that's the thing. Like if it's not, it wasn't significant enough. Like I get annoyed of a lot of things. Like I just don't vocalize it unless I have a 3-day rule. And like I've had this 3-day rule for so long, and my ex-boyfriend got mad at me about it. And I went to my therapist when I first started seeing her, because that was actually the reason why I started going to therapy. But I was like, is this weird to have like a 3-day rule? Like, and she was like, no, that's actually like really like, reasonable, I guess. I can't think of the word, but like if I'm mad at something and
you've been mad at me?
No, I'm just saying, I'm telling you my 3-day rule. Calm down.
I'm so uncalm. Wait a minute, that didn't come out right.
You just want attention.
Duh. I've only been doing a podcast for 8 years because I don't want attention. Your face is amazing right now, by the way. Amazing.
I mean, I can't say the same thing. I'm fucking showing my butthole on the internet. No, the coolest thing actually on that, because it's kind of funny because I don't like a lot of attention in a way. Because I think, because I know most of it is like people like yearning and salivating, and I think that's fucking pathetic. But at the same time, like I love sex work. I love exploring things with people. But if someone comes up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so hot," I'm like, that's the first thing you could come up with. Like, yes, I know I'm hot. Come up with something better. Why don't you strike up a conversation? Ask me like, I don't know. You can even ask me how my day is and point off of that. Not come up to me. Like, I guess I shouldn't say come up to me, but like people will be in my chat room and be like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You made my dick so hard." I'm like, obviously.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending this money, dog.
I wouldn't be. It's not that hard to get a man's dick hard. Like, come on. Like, it's really not. Like, they think that's some fucking token. And I'm like, it's not. Like, if I didn't think of myself as attractive, like, or I didn't look the way that I looked, like, I think, I forgot where I was going with this. Fuck.
Well, but like, a lot of this shit is just like, I think it's dudes projecting on what would be appealing to them. Because if a woman told a dude in general, like, "You make me so wet, you make me so hot," like, that would be awesome to a dude. I mean, that would be awesome to me. Like, if some woman that I found attractive was just like, "Oh my God, I want you so bad."
But this is not a random person on the internet. This is someone you find attractive. That's different.
Right.
Like, obviously, if I'm dating someone, I want them to tell me, like, I look good that day.
The parasocial relationships with your cam audience, they don't differentiate that in some situations, right?
Well, these are people who haven't been in my chat room before. So they think by telling me that I'm hot, that they're going to get something out of me, or that I'm going to get excited about that. And I'm like...
Right, but the reason they're taking that avenue of attack is because in their mind.
Are you standing up for these random men?
No, I'm not standing up. I'm not justifying their behavior. I am explaining why they think this is.
No, I know, but it's just so.
Oh no, it's basic bitch behavior.
It's like
it is basic bitch behavior.
Please go back to school. Pick up a thesaurus, please.
Whoa. Thesaurus. Do they make those anymore? I thought the internet replaced that shit.
They still, shit.
I'm fucking with you.
I know, sometimes I'll go to the thesaurus. No, what's insane behavior? That reminded me that, like, growing up, my sister would read the dictionary for fun.
It's probably a good thing that she won't carry your fucking surrogate then.
Why? I would want smart babies. But they would be my DNA anyway.
Smart and just boring are two separate things.
I guess that's true. She is. Well, I wouldn't say she's boring because we were getting along for a little bit. No,
until you outgrew her fun.
You know, that's what's rotted, is that fucking society is the reason why I don't have a sister. Because society pins women against women and everything is superficial, and
that's just life in general.
No, it is. And like I don't know. I feel so. I always feel weird talking about these things because it's like these.
we don't have to talk about these things.
I know, but I'm flowing with the conversation.
Well, good on you. I appreciate that.
I'm trying to.
As a podcast host, I really do appreciate this.
Yeah, and I'm.
You're gonna punch me later. I know.
No, I don't. I don't hit people.
Just with your mind.
Just with my mind. Although I was coined the best slapper in my friend group. This is actually funny.
The ADHD takes over.
Yeah, no, one of my, I'm not friends with her anymore, but when she first started dating her husband, they were like my party friends, and we would always go over to his apartment, and I don't even know how this got started. Like, I have photos of it too, and like the thing is that I got coined like one of the best slappers before I even went over there. Because I would threaten my guy friends. I'd be like, you're acting out of line. Don't make me slap you. And they wouldn't believe me. So I'd slap them. And
I'm proud to say Megan has never threatened to slap me or slap me.
I'm not as aggressive anymore. Like,
are you saying that I've done shit that would warrant a slap back in the day?
No, you're not.
See, that's the admission I wanted.
Yeah. So I was a fucking menace. Like, I really, people think I'm out of control now. Like, I was so aggressive. But,
I love that half this podcast is just me using you to validate my own bad behavior and just like, oh, I'm not that bad.
No, I wouldn't be friends with you if you were that bad.
I know. I'm
to make sure the world knows that you're a decent human being.
Oh, breaks. That's getting edited out. Can't have that.
Why?
It's off brand.
It's off brand that I'm slightly indifferent to sex. Or I guess it's off brand that I'm not a nymphomaniac.
Yeah, that's accurate. You are not slightly indifferent to sex. I have literally, as I said earlier in the show, I've literally watched you not be indifferent to it.
What were we talking about?
You beating dudes?
Oh, okay. So I don't even know how I got on this, like, I don't know. We were all really drunk, and then somehow we were like, all right, my friend's husband was her boyfriend at the time, but they're married now. But he was like, all right, I'll test it out. I'll see who has the hardest slap. Me and like 4 other dudes line up to slap this motherfucker across the face. I won.
Do you think it's technique or muscle mass?
Technique.
What's your technique?
I don't know.
What do you mean I don't know what your fucking technique is?
I don't.
What the fuck?
I haven't slapped anyone in like a really long time. It was
not it. But next time we see Andy, you gotta slap Andy for me.
You know what? Andy would do it. But I don't know if I could like still kind of like it's been a while. Like I think
the muscle memory's still there.
I think at that apartment, that's kind of like where it died.
We gotta bring that shit back for 2025.
I'm an adult now.
Boo-hoo.
I'm not trying to get canceled.
Oh, yeah. Slapping Andy Zane's going to get you canceled. That may get you some kudos in some circles.
Maybe. I love him, though.
Well, yeah. You could love him and still slap him in the face.
I mean,
I've definitely choked some people I loved.
Okay. I was gonna.
You're like, I'm walking the fuck away from that one.
I mean, I could just like make like a fetish video of me slapping people, and we could have.
I'll film that shit, bro.
I'll rally up the men.
Yo, leave a comment if you would let Mega Mistakes slap you on video.
Hey, I might be at Exotica in New Jersey, so
that's the money making show.
Yeah, no, it's the only Exotica I want to go to.
You want to go back to Chicago?
Chicago already happened, so
there's next year.
There is next year. I was thinking about going back to Chicago in August, after like I move and stuff.
Where's my invite on this? What the fuck? Why am I learning about this now?
I literally thought about it this morning because I called.
Okay. We haven't talked since this morning. Wow.
Well, I tried to FaceTime my friend, but he's a plumber in Chicago, so he was probably working.
I see how it is.
11 a.m.
I see how it is, Megan. I see how it is.
I'm also trying to do all the stuff I didn't do when I lived there. I was trying to do the boat tour.
Oh, yeah. I ain't doing that.
I want to do that so bad. Just get fucking drunk.
And you're going to shout out my Dave Matthews Band?
Dave Matthews Band isn't that bad.
Oh, no. Okay. So.
What?
It's a historical thing that happened. So. Dave Matthews Band's tour bus at one point let their fucking septic tanks go over the fucking bridge on the Chicago River, and it rained down on a fucking boat tour.
Oh, disgusting.
I know.
I was actually supposed to go to Chicago. I wanted to go back in March for St. Patty's Day.
Oh, fuck that. Hyper fuck that.
Well, because I left. I left like right before St. Patty's Day when I moved back here. And they're like the only city that goes all out on St. Patty's Day.
Then Boston, but fuck going to Boston.
I don't know. I don't really want to go to Boston.
I've been there. It's cool. Don't go.
It's cool. Don't go.
It's cool. Don't go.
I mean, one of my actually really good friends lived in Boston for a while. He's back in LA, but
right. He didn't stay there. That should tell you all you need to know.
Well, no, he does gaming, so like he actually got hired by like one of the bigger gaming companies out here because he's always been trying to come back here, but yeah, never been to Boston. I don't even think I'd really want to go to Boston. Sorry, Bostonians. I like that better.
I've done my time in New England. I'm cool. I don't need to go back.
I do like Washington, D.C.
D.C.'s all right.
That was my first protest.
Against what?
The Iraq War.
Why would you protest against something that was just going to happen?
Well, okay, so this was 2008, 2007, somewhere around there. My mom planned a family trip of us because my parents are very big on learning. That's why I'm so smart. But we planned like a family trip to Washington, D.C. We actually had just gotten done with like all of our excursions, and we turned on the news and found out that there was a protest down at the White House, and our hotel was like 2 blocks away. She's like, all right, kids, let's go down. We're going to go protest. So my first ever protest was actually at the White House. And 12? Yeah, I think. Yeah, just about 12.
2007? Yeah, I was just trying to do.
Yeah. Why? I don't know if like I try not to say ages because like
this isn't sexual. I mean, like
I know, but I don't know. People get like a little weird about that. I'm so used to also camming when people ask certain things, so I'll be like, oh, like when they ask like, oh, how long have you had your nose ring? Like I pierced my nose by myself when I was like 12 or 13. So I'll be like, oh, I've had this for 15 years. Like I don't say the age. I usually just say like the time or year just because of the nature of our work. So
everything you're telling me is just I'm going to be dead soon.
I mean, shit. My fucking family has such long longevity. Everyone dies like I don't think anyone's died like earlier than like their 90s.
It's a coin toss for me because like my grandparents on my mother's side outlived my father.
Weird.
And my grandparents on my father's side were dead before I was born.
The only person that died young, which also makes I always say my cat's kind of like reincarnated with him because he has the same birthday and he is kind of like sassy like him. And he's my favorite uncle. But he's the only one who died like young, but that's because he had I think he was getting Alzheimer's and they kind of fucked up with him because it's such a shitty story, but like I want to say he was having a stroke and they airlifted him and I think that's what killed him. And I was like, why didn't our aunt sue? And my mom was like, well, she probably wasn't thinking of that. I was like, that's medical negligence. Like he shouldn't have been airlifted at all. But he's also the kind of person because he's Jamaican. And so everything's like fun and family oriented. And it was always like really fun hanging out with him. And so him getting Alzheimer's, like when I heard that he died, like I wasn't necessarily like, I was sad because I was like, I really like, he was kind of like the focal point of our family. But I also was kind of happy for him because that's such a shitty feeling, like knowing that you're losing your memory and you can't like and I knew that him being like those times that he was aware, he was like, he felt guilty and like he didn't want to live that kind of life. So like I don't know, anytime someone dies in my family, I'm like, good for them.
Well, Alzheimer's is like, because that's what my old man went from. And like, that is honestly the most terrifying fucking way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like my old man,
100%.
I've talked about this on air, but like my old man thought he was.
I actually didn't know that out of all things, I didn't know that your dad died from Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah. Technically, he died from asphyxiating on food because like his brain stopped being able to swallow food properly.
Okay.
But did Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
He thought he was working at the home we put him in.
Oh.
Like, that is the most terrifying fucking thing. It's like, holy fuck, you're losing your mind and you think you're at work?
Oh, God.
Like,
fucking capitalism.
Fucking Midwest fucking work values. Like,
that blue-collared man.
Right? Like, that's some blue-collar shit. Like, oh, I'm in a home? I obviously work here.
Right.
But yeah, this is like the most fucking terrifying thing. It's just like, he was asking people like questions about me from like 10 years previous.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, my uncle didn't get to that part, but it was like, it was getting to the part of like, my aunt was putting up signs on the doors. And, like, cause the last time I saw him was actually like for his birthday party and he was pretty, like he was having so much, this man, like if it's anyone I ever want to grow up to be, it's him. Because so his birthday, I went to his birthday and people literally flew out from around the world to come there.
Life goals on that shit.
Right? Like, and then all the speeches everyone said at his birthday, like I started crying. Like the impact this man like made on people's lives just by being himself. Like that's exactly who I want to be. Like, cause you don't need to like, and I think that's the unfortunate thing about like society right now is people like, oh, you have to be famous or do all these things to like make an impact on people's lives that they forget that the people actually in their lives, like that's how you make an impact.
So what impact do you want to make on the people who are like in your life? Well, like, what is your impact that you want to make?
I mean, I don't necessarily have a goal, but like,
well, okay.
I always strive to like be there for my friends or like if there's a way that I can help, I'm going to make like if I have the resources to help because I don't even think people.
Megan, your funeral's tomorrow. What's the fucking eulogy? What do you want to hear? Like, what would you want?
I don't know. It's not even that sounds selfish. Like it's not even like I don't want to hear certain things, but like
there's nothing wrong with being selfish.
No, I mean being selfish to an extent, but like I want to make sure that like everyone that had had the privilege to know me.
Oh, I'm so privileged. I'm so privileged.
Come on, I make your life a little bit better.
No, you make my life a lot better. No bullshit. Like you make my life a lot better.
But I do like.
Legitimately, you're one of my favorite fucking people. I'll admit that shit on air. Like,
am I the first person you've admitted that to?
That you make my life better?
That I'm one of your favorite people?
No.
Okay.
I tell other people that they're my favorite people. I have to constantly tell people we're not dating, but I have to.
Who, me and you?
Yeah,
or?
like I have to tell like so many people we're not dating.
Oh yeah, no, same. I'm like,
oh, people ask you too. Shit.
They're like, well, it's not even they don't ask me, but I can tell, and I'm like, no, we're not dating. Like this, and it's something I'm so used to because I hate this so much. I have such a fucked up Okay, so like this is something that I'm like growing up. I had such a fucked up relationship with women, even though I strived to like have those female relationships. I'm not a good picker on that one either. But I do like I can pick some of the best guy friends. Like my guy friends, I would like ride or die for. They aren't gross. Like I always tell my guy friends they're one of the girls. I'm not one of the guys, they're one of the girls. And literally all of my best friends, I mean, I do have best girlfriends. They just don't, I don't think they live here. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. I also lost a few girlfriends within the past few years. But that's something that's like kind of hard for me to maintain. Because it ends up being like I won't realize that they see me like, and that it's I hate like saying these things out loud, but I won't realize that they see me as competition.
That's fucked up because like high tide raises all ships. Like if you are friends with someone, y'all should be looking out for each other.
Right. And like and that's like another thing to like go back on like how I was raised is that like a lot of people are raised with men being the center. Like you're going to get married, have kids, start a family, and your goal is to find a man to start that family. Like it's very male centered. However, both my parents were like, no, you're going to you're going to go to college, get a career, enjoy your interests and hobbies, maybe date. Like they never centered relationships in raising us. And so like with me, I'm like, oh, they centered friendships. Like your friends are your communities, your family is your community. However, like don't ever like lose yourself in a relationship.
No, fuck no.
Yeah, and they were both of them are really good about that. And so like me going into these relationships with women, it doesn't always end up that way. And I do because I've sat there and thought about it a lot, and like I'm aware of how these situations happen, but I don't have control over it because like I will like I know that I easily get attention, and it's not even trying. Like people easily gravitate towards me, and it's one of those things where, and I think it's because I'm kind of an asshole to men, and men like that too. And they're like, oh, like why isn't she like fawning over? I think it's also my indifferent personality that like attracts men.
All right.
I don't know. I don't even know, but like even with someone like telling me, oh, this guy, I have a crush on him, I like don't talk to like don't try anything with him, which 9 times out of 10, like
well, I mean
they're rat people. They're disgusting.
Well, but that's also bullshit. Like people have agency. Like you can't call dibs on a human. If you and a friend are both interested in the same dude, and that dude chooses either one of you, that's just what it is. Like, you can't call dibs on a fucking person.
I mean, I don't really even care about that because I don't have the same taste as like some of my friends.
But it's not just to you on a care. It's just a fucking fact of life. Like,
I think it's also it's kind of like a respect thing too. Like, I do respect like my friends in that aspect of like, if they're willing to tell me that, that's okay. Like, I allow that.
That is bullshit on their part. That is absolute bullshit on their part. They need to respect the person they're interested in enough to be like, they made a choice.
I guess. And I mean, I don't know. I don't actually see like an issue with it if they're willing to come to me and talk to me about it. But the thing that happens is like, and I realize that's why most of the time growing up, people would stop bringing me around. Those people would start talking to me, and because I can like, I can talk to people and like we can bullshit and stuff, that then those people end up liking me, and I'm like aware of these things, and I will even tell the person like they'll be like, "Oh, I like you a lot." I said, "No, you don't have a chance." I was like, "Absolutely not." First of all, I don't tell them that they're ugly. But
wow, wow, Megan, wow.
Well, I'm thinking about the reason I'm basing this off of, because the last time this actually happened was when I was living in Chicago, and this, I fucking hate this man. He's dead now, so
I know that dude. I'm
gonna piss on his grave.
I knew that dude. Like, we've talked about this.
Yes,
I knew that dude.
That's how we. That was our first conversation.
Well, it was one of them. It was
Fuck that dude.
For the behind the scenes, like the first time Megan did the show, like her and I hung out for like probably a good like couple hours, like on my balcony.
Not even hours. It wasn't. You were finishing up your cigar. It was maybe 30 minutes. That's why I was confused about the like. You're like, oh, it took me an hour and a half to finish this, and I was like, well, last time I was here.
Yeah, last time we were here, I was halfway through the cigar when you showed up. But yeah, like we realized that we knew a bunch of mutuals back in Chicago. Like that is where the connection came from. It's like, oh, hey, people I know signed off on you. People signed off on me.
I think that's also what's kind of weirdly. Well, okay, I think everyone should camp first.
Okay.
I didn't even get to my second point with the whole.
That was like an hour ago.
I know, that's bad. That's so bad. Anyway, I think every woman coming in should camp first to get an understanding of their clientele.
Okay.
Because I think that is a great stepping point. Second, I think before you ever consider doing studio work or content, you should start going to events and seeing who your peers are and finding your own community, because this job is very isolating, and it's one of those things. And that's, I mean, I didn't even think that like my formula was the perfect formula, but when I talk to people, they're like, "Oh, that was really smart. Like, you did it the right way."
There is no perfect formula.
There isn't really a perfect formula, but like I think in the essence of like, I do think it's important to go into something like this with a community and support system, especially
if you can find one. Yeah, fuck yeah.
If you can find one. Because if I didn't find one, I probably wouldn't have been doing studio work. I would have stuck to like solo work. Because like my safety is my utmost importance. It doesn't matter what I do. I want to make sure.
Wait a minute. Did I help you feel safe in that shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, like you're part of like, so like my thing was like, okay, so I'm meeting certain people, and as I'm making friends.
Oh, I have opinions.
What you don't think that you're a safe person to be around?
No, I meant like I have opinions about other people you meet. Like I voice my opinions.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, if you didn't agree with someone, you would tell me.
Oh, 100%. You've heard me tell you.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I'm not just going to, like, I And that's even when I'm on set, I ask so many fucking questions and I make everyone gossip with me because here's the thing. I think gossip is good. Everyone, no, I think because gossip is bad if you can't fucking critically think. If you can't fucking critically think, that's on you. If you're going to believe everything that someone says, however, if it starts becoming a pattern, then that's something to watch out for.
100%.
And then if someone says something and it's not true, they're an unreliable narrator. So gossip,
there's a few of those.
Gossip is that's why gossip is the most powerful thing you can such a powerful research tool in relationships. And it's such a, people view it so derogatory, but it's your biggest weapon. I shouldn't say weapon's like an intense thing, but it's your biggest asset. It's your biggest asset is that you need to talk to people and ask questions, and you need to find out about other people. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I won't say and you don't have to say things publicly. I think the one thing that I was actually thinking about this earlier about cancel culture is that I don't think a lot of things should be public because it's something should to an extent, but I think a lot of things should be worked because the CIA doesn't make things public. If you really want someone to be gone, it has to be an internal kind of thing.
They also assassinate people, so maybe not a good comparison.
But if you think about all of the most revolutionary things, a lot of people work in silence. If you want shit done, you work in fucking silence. And that's kind of I think the use of social media can be great in spreading the word.
Oh, it's part of the job.
But however, if you are trying because it's a fine line of let's say you spread something that isn't true, then you're blacklisted.
Well, but also with social media, it's it is throwing something out to the court of public opinion. It is not necessarily innocent until proven guilty. It is, in a lot of cases, someone's one-off bad experience throwing that out there. If other people on social media concur, hey, this person, I'm thinking of a POV creator that a lot of people came out against last year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Concur, it's okay, well, that person is a piece of shit. Allegedly.
Well, you know how long that took, though?
A while.
It took a while because I heard about it. I heard about it almost 4 months before it happened. And so I think that's so you can it's more so you want to make sure you build up your resources before you say anything publicly. But the thing too is that even if things are public, people will write it off, and then that I don't know. It's a very fine line.
One of those things there are some other creators in various spaces in the industry where a lot of people talk shit. A lot of people are fuck that person. That person, has various sins under their name. I'm not going to, get into
right. We don't need to name names.
But
it's an underground.
People still work with them very regularly. People still work with them because they provide clout.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of big performers that I don't fuck with. And I've known about this shit. There's even one performer, and I've told you about this, that I just don't get a good vibe off of. I was like, no.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's the thing. They do everything kind of right, and they're very well respected, but I don't know. I think it's easy to it sounds silly, but it's such a California thing, being growing up in entertainment is you catch on to people's personalities very quick, and you catch on to their habits, and they can have a great public image, but you can see right through it so fucking fast. And I think that's probably what people, either I'm intimidating in that way or I'm an asshole in that way, because I can tell when people are trying too hard or that they're not genuine in their thing. Because you can be a fucking super slut, and there are people that I know that are super sluts, and
I do too.
I love them. But I can see that they're genuinely doing it, and they're doing it in like a ethical way, because morality is subjective.
Well,
but ethically speaking, like they are aware of things and perceptions, and making sure that like everyone makes mistakes, but they're trying to not step on toes, and that's kind of, I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. Like, they're not intentionally trying to do harm.
Right. And
intention is important.
And intention is important. And the thing too is that people will pretend to ignore things a lot in this industry and be like, well, I didn't know. And I'm like, you're on the internet as much as we all are. And I know that these conversations, just by me being on set I've been on set maybe a handful of times now. I've been doing studio work 2.5 months. And even before studio work, people fucking talk. So for someone to be on this high rise of like success and you to pretend not to know things when I know things, that's ridiculous to me. I will never accept that excuse.
Well, some people just are doing shit for the numbers. Like how it plays for their career.
I view like career and success so differently than people, because like I had 2 rules going into this industry. Was I have to do it sober. If I can't do it sober, I'm not going to do it.
So why are you here right now?
I'm not being paid to be here.
I'll give you $1.
$1. I got $1.
I mean, that's paid.
$1.
That's a payment.
If we go to Japan, that'll go further.
Oh. Are we going to Japan?
My dad's buying a house in Japan next week.
Well, that's cool for him. Are you and I going to Japan?
We can go to Japan. You can meet my dad. We can stay at his house.
You best prepare your liver if we're going to Japan.
My liver?
Uh-huh.
That's fine.
We're about to drink real hard.
I mean, their food's better than here.
It is.
So.
The alcohol is dirt cheap.
I'm good on vacation. It's like really just at home that I'm a fucking mess. But no, and the other thing is I have to be able to fall asleep at night. And if I don't feel good about what I'm doing, and there's a moment in time where I feel like I fucked over people or did wrong, I need to leave.
What constitutes doing wrong, though?
If someone has like a problem with someone, or just doing like, there are a lot of popular things
for sure
that I don't necessarily agree with that I could easily do for money. But
yeah, we could do a whole skit right now and like do some clickbait and all that shit. That could be a thing we could do for money.
Well, yeah, but I'm also
sorry, that's something that rubs me the wrong way.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, I'm not like, not that people need to know every intricacy of my life, or that I need to be super authentic. But I think the whole clickbait era of things, or just following trends of things, and it's harmful to a demographic of people just for the money, and everyone talks about it, and so you are aware, and you cannot pretend that you're not aware, because it is a constant conversation of your peers. It is a constant fucking conversation of your peers, and you're sitting there playing into it. Like, that's fucked. Like, and no, I think that's kind of the thing too, is that I want to make sure that no amount of money can sway me in that aspect.
Well, that makes one of us. Enough money will sway me to almost anything. Kidding.
Get up.
Maybe.
Get the fuck up.
I live here. You can't make me get the fuck up.
I can push you off that chair. No, I don't want to get up.
No, you would lose that wrestling match. Like, I outweigh you by like 2-1.
I could just kick you. But I don't want to.
Apparently, we
I don't
need to sell
want to.
cameras for the Mega Mistakes Matt Slayer wrestling match.
I don't want to fuck up your cameras. Okay.
You just don't want to lose on camera.
You don't. You have important equipment here.
I do. You just don't want to lose on camera. I understand.
But no, that's the thing. I never want money to sway me on things. Because I'm also on the aspect of like money will always come. Even at my like lowest points, like I've been so fucking poor. There was at one point where I was getting eviction notices. Like,
is that here?
No, it wasn't here. It was. Well, it's like the lore to why I joined the industry. I was taking care of my mom, and she was really sick, and so I was
definitely don't want to fuck her now.
Shut up. Anyway,
I just sick girl. Sorry.
Well, she wasn't like that, and she was mentally sick. Okay, that's what you're into. You can't say anything. Shut up.
No, I can say accurate. I can say accurate.
Yeah, you love them crazy bitches.
Accurate.
I love them crazy bitches too. So no joke.
Duh.
But no, that was kind of like I always thought about joining the industry, but then I was like, oh, like my parents' perception, like blah 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 blah. But then when it really came like cutthroat, and my boyfriend at the time was one of my exes is so intertwined in the industry, and it's fucking weird. And it's like we know the same people, and I'm like, why? But anyway, he was the one who helped me get in the industry. I just wanted to make sure I did the things my parents wanted first.
That's the worst choice.
What do you mean? They said graduate college, don't have a kid during that time.
Yeah, but easy. Like living for other people's expectations, no matter what they are, is a bad choice.
Okay, they didn't have many requests of us. Like,
well, guess what? If you're doing it for you, that's awesome. If you're doing it just for them, fuck that.
Well, for a while, I did want to go to college. I love learning. The thing that
why do you learn lessons such a hard way, then, Megan? Why?
Because we're making mistakes.
But
but no, the thing that does kind of suck is like the degree I was aiming for. It got to a point where I couldn't afford it. So I switched majors and then got a degree that I can't fucking use. But I will say, towards the end of that degree, I learned one of the best life lessons I ever learned. And it kind of like solidified that. So I am happy because I think if I hadn't taken, and it's so funny because I went into that class going like, this is such basic shit. Like I don't know why they're making me take this class, but that teacher was so fucking good. And like the lesson she had us like go over is probably why I'm more grounded now. Because I was a very angry person via like politics and stuff like that. But you can't argue with people who won't listen.
Well, yeah. And also in modern America, some politics have become religion, and you can't argue facts versus religion.
Right. And
you facts versus faith just doesn't work.
Well, and I think not that like I wasn't community centered, but that class really like stressed the fact of like you aren't going to get anything done unless you have community. And there's no point in arguing with people who aren't willing to listen. And it was actually so funny because I was the only person that she liked, because it was an online course because I took online schooling before the pandemic. Like I'd already enrolled in it, so it was already formatted for all of that, so there were not any hiccups. And I actually really like online schooling because of my ADHD.
Well, and people can't smell you. I get it.
Smell me? Do I smell bad?
Like pizza.
Fuck. Pizza's not bad though.
Twitter callbacks.
Right? But this is gonna come out like what, a month and a half later, and they're gonna
If not longer.
Yeah.
If not longer. I have so many episodes in the can right now.
But what was I saying? No, and that was the thing. I would get so angry about things and how like stupid people were. And honestly, that my going through that college, like just that program, I realized how out of touch so many people were. And I went into it because I was like, you know what? This is stuff I grew up on. I got a degree in sociology. So I was like, this is.
Oh, look at you, Miss Fancy Pants.
I picked it because I knew I could like pass it, to be honest. I knew it would be second nature just because of the way that I was raised. And I honestly figured this was like normal ass shit. Reading everyone's replies and thoughts on things, I was like, oh my God, people are so fucking stupid. And I hate going into things thinking people are stupid.
But they are.
I don't like having that mindset. I I don't ever want to put myself, and I think that's like kind of the thing of like, I feel uncomfortable talking about my looks. Not that everyone thinks I'm attractive, but by general consensus of what people have told me, you can get a big head on
Survey
says I'm fucking hot. But it's also one of those things people okay, and I guess more so with like the intelligence thing. Like I have a very smart family. I was like kind of on the low. I was a different kind of intellect than the rest of my family. So when people tell me I'm smart, I'm like, no, I'm like not that smart. Like I come from like there are smart people in my family. But
honestly, like I feel like that's a sign of intellect to be like, no, I'm not that smart, because the full-on Dunning-Kruger effect is fucking morons are like, I'm a genius.
Oh yeah, no. I think no.
Well, that's part of intellect, is like to have that self-doubt, to have that like, am I that smart? And like to question shit.
Well, that's what I ended up realizing is that the smartest people are always willing to learn.
Duh.
And so that's when I realized that about myself. I was like, and I still don't think of myself as like an insane smart person.
Well, no, you wouldn't be on the show if you were.
What?
You would not be here right now. You were an insane and smart person. Smart people don't do this show.
I feel like, well, if they get told to be on this show by their agents, I know you got those agency connects.
Shut up, you. Megan. Too much BTS. Too much BTS.
Was I not supposed to say that?
You were not supposed to say that. It's still going to stay in post because it's hilarious. But
why? You're an industry veteran. You know people.
No. I've never met anyone in the industry in my life.
I mean, it's not like you know everyone who comes onto your podcast.
I don't.
Yeah, so you have to have connections, and people send. It's not even a bad thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyway, but no, I always feel like you're the one who always tells me, and actually Texas Mike, shout out to Texas Mike, but when I'll be ranting, well, it's usually when I'm ranting in my stories or I'm ranting in text with you, you'll be like, people are fucking stupid. I'm like, I don't want to believe that.
Oh, they are.
I really don't want to believe that.
They are.
That is so disheartening to me.
Megan, real quick, do you feel you're of average intelligence?
Yeah.
That means 49% of people are dumber than you.
That's too many.
Right. That's assuming that you're just of average intelligence. That assumes that you're of the 50th percentile.
I might as well finish this drink.
You might as well. And pour yourself another one. Duh.
And what are we doing on time?
Time? We're doing things on time.
No, like I have to pee.
You can go pee. This
Well,
is not pre-recorded.
la-
Go fucking pee, woman!
Last time I went pee, you said, okay, well, we're already at time, so we might as well end it.
Well, yeah, that was last time. This time you have time to go urinate.
Okay, cool.
Empty your bladder.
I will.
And we're back.
I have a question.
Answer.
Because I was thinking about this as I was peeing. What is the craziest dating story that I've told you? Like, what do you think?
Told me?
Yeah, that you think you're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Nothing that's really stood out as that crazy.
Not being followed home from a party.
That was uncalled for, but not really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the motivation was like, oh, she's going to take me upstairs and I'm going to try to fuck her. And like, oh.
I don't think it was even trying to fuck me. It was like more like, oh, I'm going to reconcile.
Yeah, reconciliation involved fucking.
I don't know.
You don't reconcile fuck?
No, actually, no.
Well,
I've never like done that whole like after fighting fucking, because I think that sends a bad message. And plus if I'm like mad at you, I'm completely turned off until you make me happy again. So
well, obviously they're trying to make you happy again if they're trying to fuck you.
That's not gonna make me happy.
Because you're breaking your brain and be like, I'm apathetic towards sex.
I mean, I think if I was apathetic towards sex, I'd fuck them. But I don't know. That didn't actually make any sense.
It did not.
I'm drunk now.
Yay, we're both been drinking.
But no, I don't believe. I think because like I think in that way of like relationships, I'm so sensitive to where I'm like.
Well, I mean, I gave you a ton of shit about like even letting that dude back into your apartment in that situation.
God, I was just so annoyed.
And you should have never let him into your place.
Okay, here's the thing though. Like I'm gonna say my one fear though. Like even though people are afraid of me, like I'm so okay. That's honestly like another reason why I won't date people technically in the industry. The work-life balance, but also like whether we like to admit it or not, and it's in every kind of entertainment industry. It's not like porn exclusive. And even it's not even entertainment. It's just like we live in a patriarchal society.
No. No.
So like if I'm trying to make a career somewhere, like I know my picker. And it's not a good one. It's broken. It's so fucking
your picker compass points due south.
Yeah, I'd rather have a bad picker in the civilian world than have a bad picker in my workplace.
Well, duh.
And so like my thing is that I would hate to like, and I mean it's already maybe have costed me like a few things, but it's few rather than a lot.
I mean, it's definitely costed us some parties. Us, your poor dick choices have cost me some parties.
Oh no, I'm taking you to a better party tomorrow or 2 days.
Wow. I love that I'm just your plus one on this shit. I am, but I love that you called me out on it.
I mean, you've helped me. I'm helping you.
I know, we're friends. That's what friends do for each other.
No, that's the thing. I'm afraid that people are gonna fuck up my career. Because it's easier to get unfortunately, it's easier to get a woman canceled than it is to get a man canceled.
It depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation, but even I've heard some horrendous shit and they're still working.
Oh, for sure. Like the industry will breeze over some very toxic shit out of dudes.
Well, and that's kind of like, that's why I made sure I made friends before joining. And so, and it's not in that sounds.
Are you using me?
Well, I was about to say that sounds like I'm like using people, but it's more so like I want to find friends who align with my beliefs and ethics.
That wasn't a no. Megan's using me. I got it.
Everything's transactional. We're in sex work. I'm kidding. That's so fucking heartless.
I mean, I have 0 transactions with you. Like I support you because you're my people.
What I mean, in a sense, even doing favors for each other is considered transactional.
No,
but
I don't do favors for you just out of expectation of anything in return.
Oh no. I don't even live my life like that. Like that's ridiculous. Like that if you live your life like that, you will always be disappointed.
For sure.
Like even I was helping out one of our friends getting work, and he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And honestly, I was kind of surprised that even I had the resources, because I feel like a little guppy in this pond. Like I feel like such a guppy, but it kind of felt like good that I might have resources to help someone out who's been in the industry longer than I have. Not that like I was like prideful of it, but I was like, oh, this is like kind of like it feels uncomfortable a little bit, but I was happy to help. And it was second nature to me.
Of course.
It was such second nature to me that like, oh, you're looking for something? Oh, let me head up a few people and figure it out.
As much as I bust your balls, you're actually legitimately good people, and you are one of my favorite people. Like, I'll say that shit on record.
Good.
And I will also say that shit on record, though, where I have told multiple people, like, I would not date you. So
good.
Not that it was ever an option, but it was also like
we're not dating, guys.
We're not dating, but legitimately, like I've told you, like, someone who I was supposed to hang out with, a little while back, she was asking about that shit. I'm like, no, we're not dating, and like, there's no interest in dating there.
No, like it's always so fun because everyone always every band that I'm ever close with. I guess I forgot to like talk about that earlier, but because I had because I was trying to figure out like why can't I make like female friendships? Why am I really good at making male friendships? And I realized it's because like me and my brother were very, very close as opposed to me and my sister. Like I don't mean to call my family out, but like they're tough women. They really are, and they have their own things, and it's just the way that society is. And I will say, like, luckily, like, and even my mom like raised my brother like you treat all women fairly. Like you don't pursue a woman unless she shows interest in you, kind of thing. Like never expect anything out of a woman. Like,
well, yeah, you can't expect any shot. No.
Yeah. And I mean most men aren't raised like my mom was like
I wasn't raised like that. It's just life experience that brought me to that conclusion.
But I think a lot of things start at home too, and then unfortunately society can kind of like corrupt a little bit of people.
I was raised by a man who like encouraged me to hit on waitresses. So like
yeah, but that's your own kind of like because everyone has their own like everyone's different, and so like things can make you feel uncomfortable, and that was your own foresight of being like this is uncomfortable, I don't want to do this, and not everyone has that foresight.
Well, yeah, like as we discussed earlier, intelligence is not universal,
right? But that was kind of like the thing is that like I was really close with my brother, and my brother like he would play Barbies with us, like he was so intertwined in our world. And even my dad, like that's even the thing, like even my dad, there was nothing. I remember the first time I like asked my like because we were visiting him for the weekend, and I got my period, and I was like, oh, I need tampons. He goes, okay. And he goes, which ones do you want? Do you like these ones or these ones? And like it wasn't even like I was so afraid that he was gonna be one of those dads that was like, here's money, go get it. Like he walked with me down the aisle and was like, which ones do you like the most? And even one time, like I we had to go. I needed like just regular shit. Like I needed new underwear and like I needed new clothes for school. My fucking dad, and I know this motherfucker did this to embarrass me, but like he wasn't like he was never one of those dads that was like, here's money, go get it. He would walk through the stores with us, and it was the most dad moment he ever had. And it's funny because my best friend even had this moment. She's like, yeah, my dad did that to piss me off. But he pulls up, he goes, what do you think about these chonies? And I was like, oh my God, please put that down. And like he even walked us up to the counter. And like, I mean, even in TV show, like all of our media doesn't express those kinds of things of like a father being involved in things that girls are like, even like the intricacies of it. And so
as an adult, I'm always of the mindset of like, hey, if you're asking me for menstrual whatevers, like tampons, pads, whatever, that means a woman in my life trusts me enough with this bullshit.
Right.
Like, why is that emasculating? Like, that means, oh my God, a woman trusts me. Like, how is that an emasculating fucking thing? I don't get how dudes are like embarrassed about that shit.
I don't either, because it's like no one thinks that's for you. Like no one.
Oh my God, your dick's bleeding? You're gonna get a tampon? Oh my God, you're gonna ram a tampon in your urethra because your dick's bleeding? No, dog. That means some woman trusts you with her menstrual cycle, with her intimate fucking moments. It's just like, why would you embarrass me? You'd be embarrassed about getting condoms. It's like, that means you're fucking.
Right. And that's like such like, I will say, even though my parents' relationship didn't work out, like my mom did pick a good man to raise daughters. Cause like he's so like, I guess indifferent. Like he's just like, he always said he wanted to raise daughters aside from sons. I think that has more to do with his generational trauma. And I do think as a man, sometimes when you have a conflicting relationship with other men, it becomes hard raising men.
That's why I want to raise no one.
Smart. I mean, technically, I love my sister, even though she doesn't love me. I was actually supposed to be the last child, but because I died at birth, they wouldn't give my dad a vasectomy or my mom. They wouldn't.
So what you're saying is your dad's polygamous trash. Got it.
No, I'm saying because I died at birth, fucking America would not snip my parents.
Dude, they snipped me with no questions asked.
No, it was one of those things because they didn't know if I could live, that they were like, well, if this baby dies, we don't want you guys to regret this. And then they have that like mental state on you. And my mom was like, what the fuck? My baby's not going to die.
I don't know. Society's evolved. They snipped me with zero questions. They're like, you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes. And they went, snip.
Well, no, it's definitely easier to get snipped as a man, but I think because my parents were together, like my dad wasn't even hesitant towards that. Like I think that's the crazy thing too, growing up with like how my mom raised my brother and then having my dad as a dad and realizing that like a lot of the way I grew up is so different than society works. And my dad fucking wears makeup sometimes. My dad is such a fucking theater kid. Like he is. I was actually telling this to, I think, someone yesterday. Like one of my dad and I go, we hang out once a month. Like we have our monthly hangouts. And one time we were at brunch, and my parents have never really been focused on jobs or anything like that. It's never, and so like even me saying like, hey, this is what I do for work. It was like in that time period, like it never even became a conversation. Like we never talked about jobs. We talked about what we were doing in life or our hobbies or like current events. But one time he was getting drunk at brunch and he was like, well, like the same reason you're doing porn is why I did internet security. Like you have to make a living and that's where you're going to make the most money. And I looked at him and like I didn't want to stop him on his thought process, but I was like, for you to have that, like, because society pushes so much that people are especially our parents are going to reject us. And for him to say that to me of like, you're doing what's going to make you the most money to succeed, and understanding like our background of things. Cause like, no, I mean, my family has been consistent with work and been able to maybe like build up their retirement funds, but we don't have generational wealth. No one is successful in that aspect of things.
For the moment, making mistakes is going to have some generational wealth.
I hope so. But that I have to pass that on.
To somebody.
Actually, my beneficiary is my sister. She doesn't know that. But
I could be your beneficiary. Come on.
I was actually thinking of moving my beneficiary to my uncle's kid because we're 25 years apart. I'm going to outlive you, motherfucker.
You are not.
I am.
Only the good die young. I'm going to be here for a long time.
My family lives until like 95.
Yeah. I mean, if I get the coin toss on my mom's side, my grandparents lived till like their mid-90s.
Same. So I'm still going to...
Nope.
You're going to die before me.
Nope.
There is like a 18-year difference.
Yeah.
14, I think, actually.
More than that. 28?
Well, I'm turning 29, so maybe...
29, so like 14. Yeah, 14 years.
Did you turn 43 this year?
I did.
Okay. For some
You were at my birthday!
I know!
You were at my fucking birthday!
I thought it was 42.
We went out for pizza!
I thought it was 42.
You thought wrong.
I was 42. So I was going...
Wow.
So yeah, no, I was right the first time. 14 years.
Yeah, you did the good math.
I told you. I'm smart at math. I'm good at math.
Good at math.
See, I was terrible at reading, which is so shitty about the American like
God love you.
education system is that they base everything off of English and literature. And they told me I was dumb, but all my test scores were so high on math and science. And
Megan, I have to outlive you because I couldn't bear the thought of you being so depressed of living without me.
I'll be fine.
Wow. Okay, on that note, we're going to call last call on this motherfucker.
Are you really?
Yeah, because we've actually been doing this over 2 hours.
Okay. At least I got to pee.
Now that you'll be fine with me being out of your life and dead. But
I should be the beneficiary. Fuck you.
No, my life insurance goes to one of my homies to throw a really good open bar.
Okay, who do you trust out of your homies to do that?
Someone I've known since I was a teenager, yes.
Have I met them?
No, they live in fucking Illinois.
Okay. Well, do you still talk to them?
Yeah, I talked to them while I was smoking my cigar before you got here.
Okay, so you
all the time. That's like one of my best fucking friends. Yeah.
Okay, at least as long as they're trustworthy, because sometimes people put shit into like
my life insurance is going to one of the best human beings. I literally called him out on having too big of a heart. He's like, "So you're just saying in the politest way ever that I'm a sucker?" I'm like, I that's not what I meant, man. But maybe
I love those people, but also hate them.
Well, I love him to death. He's one of my best friends, but yeah, his picker on women sometimes is I said this to him on the phone. I'm like, if I was in the relationships you were in, I would have been single years ago in every last one of them.
I mean, that's why I've been single for 4 years.
Ooh, 4 whole years.
That's a long time for me.
For you, fuck. I mean, I think I've legally been single for 10-ish.
Legally? Were you married? Yeah.
No, I mean, we never actually got the the license, but we never actually got married. But
Okay.
that
I was gonna say, I remember you telling me that story, but I was like,
that was 10 years ago, and that was not someone that was someone I fucked once and hung out with twice.
See, I honestly, I'm that kind of crazy where like my fantasy is to like go fucking have a shotgun wedding.
Well, if the Kiss Chapel was readily available, we would have.
Like even if I were to ever get married, like I want to get married by Elvis in Vegas. My grandparents actually went through the drive-through chapel. That's how they got married on Valentine's Day. So
I mean, I'd be down for the right person, but like it, yeah, like
I will say, two of my friends became lawyers, and they stopped that because I am very impulsive. So I would probably have married someone. I probably would have married my ex if it weren't for them saying like, think about the legalities of it.
Oh, during the shit show in Vegas during AVN, yeah, it was AVN 14. Yeah, it was AVN 14 where I almost got married. I was trying to get a prenup done while drunk during all of this.
Oh, see, you have more foresight than I did.
Well, because at that point in 2014, I was making 6 figures a year.
Okay.
And she was a part-time porn star who worked in a sex shop.
So she was making under 6 figures.
Quite a bit. So, yeah, I was trying to protect my investment at that point.
Right.
And I've said this multiple times on air, like, I dodged a fucking bullet because she got diagnosed with brain cancer, like, shortly thereafter.
Oh, but medical debt can't affect you anymore.
In 10 years ago, it definitely could have. And that would have been on my fucking insurance.
I guess, yeah.
10 years ago, because I'm pretty sure she was still under her parents' insurance because, 20s.
26.
Yeah, like.
I yelled at my dad about that.
She very well could have, like, had a much worse outcome being under my insurance.
Right.
And, like, oh, hey, I married you for the lulz, and, like, this negatively affected both our lives. Like,
but you can actually, legally, that's what an annulment's for.
Well, yeah, but you have to go file those things.
Yeah, but I mean, a few grand for an annulment to make sure it doesn't affect your credit, like.
Well, for sure, or just not go through with it in the first place.
I mean, yeah, but that's like one of my like weird sick fantasies.
I mean, I definitely.
I am such a hopeless romantic in that way. Like, I want something so like fucking extreme, but that's why I'm in therapy. So
I mean, I was gonna do it for the bit. Literally, the Kiss Chapel wasn't readily available. We got the license.
Yeah.
We announced it at a Burning Angel brunch.
I'm so glad I'm on Adderall now.
Why?
Because it deters my impulses. You know how impulsive I was before on Adderall?
Well, then I definitely don't want to take Adderall. I like how impulsive I am.
See, I love it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, can't do that.
But for reals, Megan, we're gonna call last call on this motherfucker. We're gonna,
You're gonna make me fucking take a shot of Malort.
I am. This is your doing.
This is my doing. I fucked myself up with this one.
You did. But before we get shot here, before we do the shot Malort, where can they find you on the things?
You can actually, I made a website, so just fucking type in meganmistakes.com and you can find all my shit there. Hopefully it's working. If not, Twitter, Megan Mistakes, Instagram, not Megan Mistakes, and Megan Mistakes on Pornhub. I don't know. Just type in. Why are you playing your own shit during this fucking podcast?
It wasn't intentional.
Yeah. Sure. So self-centered. So fucking self-centered, Matt Slayer. Anyway, Megan Mistakes.
This is why you love me. It's okay.
It's okay. We're ADHD and we're full of ourselves. It's fine.
Note to self, that was not an admission of not loving me.
What?
That was not an admission of not loving me.
I never said I didn't love you.
Oh, you love me, Megan?
You're my friend. I have so much love for my friends. I could cry about how much I love my friends. And we should probably stop this before I start talking about that because I'm a yapper.
You should, because there's been multiple times where I've dropped you off and you're like, I love you. I'm like, okay.
Wait, you don't say it back.
I don't.
Do you not say I love you to your friends?
Not often.
Because that's the one thing. I will never, my thing is that I will always tell my friends I love them because you never know when they're going to die. And if it's like, if you understand that's a friend relationship, like, obviously you're not going to take that in the wrong context. I'll be like, love you, bye. Like, that's why I say that. Like, I don't think you're going to take that in the wrong context.
I definitely don't.
So that's why I say it. Like, I'm always going to tell my friends I love them. Because not a lot of people hear that either. Like, it's sad.
We'll talk about this off air. Until next week, here we go, motherfuckers.
Love you, bye.
We're going to make do shots of Malort now.
Oh, no. Help.